Guys, welcome back to another test ride. Here we are, Honda Doble Motorcycles in Coulsdon. What are we testing today, I hear you cry? Well, I'm going to be honest with you, it's something we did do about 2 or so months ago, but this is the newer version. So, we are test riding the Royal Enfield 350 Signals. Well, to be honest, I did a big reveal there, but you're going to see it on the thumbnail anyway, so that was totally pointless, but never mind. I really like it in this sand effect. It's a pretty much new bike. It's only done about 30 miles, so we're going to have to be careful running her in. So yeah, it's only about half throttle really. I've not been there specified to do that, but I have seen online that they benefit well for a decent run-in, so we will look after her. And I actually, you know what, from the pictures I wasn't a big fan of the Signals paint job, but looking at it now I'm actually kind of impressed. But we'll go through the changes of the new version versus the older version. And what's annoying is I've left my gloves at home, so we're going to be very careful. Don't ride a motorcycle without gloves, but I will be going to my father's and I'm sure I'll find some spare gloves there. So yes, don't do as I do, one of those moments. But yeah, first impressions is it's a good looking bike, especially in that sand colour. Yeah, I'm quite surprised. This model is slightly cheaper than the standard Enfield, but we're going to go into all that. You know me, I like to do a test ride first, then I'll get into the weeds, I'll get into the comparison of the older version versus this newer version. But first impressions are, yeah, it's good. I like it. Very, very nice indeed. I like the colour of the seat as well. Oh wow. I always forget how you sort of sit on these bikes more than sort of sit in them, if that makes sense. It's a very smooth engine, isn't it? It does feel very different actually to the previous model. But what I wanted to really sort of test between here is there any point in buying a new one? There's quite a few really good condition used Enfield 350s about for sale at the moment. So yeah, and the sort of people that own them are pretty fastidious people. They look after their bikes and they care about them. So I'd say it's quite easy to buy a good one, which is a real nice thing, isn't it? You know, try and do that with a GSX-R 600S rad. Try and find a good used one of those. No, you never will be able to. So yeah, we're going to go a little half throttle today. Oh, that seat is a bit of movement in the seat. Yeah, so I wanted just to see, you know, I've seen some good deals, you know, from 2 and a bit thousand, maybe around the 2,000 for a really nice Enfield 350 used. So is it worth spending the extra money and buying a new one? But yeah, I do like this old engine. It has been doing the rounds for some time, hasn't it? Let's be honest. But we are coming to quite a steep hill, so I'm a little bit worried about going half throttle out there. That clutch is definitely lighter. That was an improvement for this year, but again, we will go into all that. This seat has quite a bit of movement in it, which is a little bit disconcerting to begin with. I'll be honest, I can feel the difference. I didn't think I would actually, in all honesty. I didn't think I would. I thought this would just be a simple case of it's going to be pretty much 100% the same as the other one, isn't it? Let's be honest, but it actually does feel different. These bars feel a little bit wider as well. Maybe that's just me. And these pegs seem to stick out a little bit more, but I'll have to check that. Again, I ride so many bikes. But yeah, they are big old pegs. Yeah, short shifting my way. It's beginning to rain a bit as well. Oh, how fantastic. So what are we going to do with this little bike today? Well, we're going to use it like we use any bike, right? I'm one of those reviewers that just uses a bike how I would use a bike normally. I don't make any special sort of, you know, journeys for them. It's, you know, I have errands to run, which means I need to go to the post office to take something back, on behalf of the good lady, of course. And then I need to get my hair cuts. And no, that's not by Croydon Council, before you ask. What else do I need to do? I need to pick up a couple of things from the shop, and I need to go and see my father as well. So there you go, my stepsister has just given birth last night, so everyone's rather excited about that, so that's some fantastic news. Luca Jack is his name, so please wish him well. Do you know what, this reminds me of the other day. I was in Box Hill and I was in the car and there's cyclists everywhere, and this cyclist was determined to overtake me on these little tight passes over humps and whatever else. He was literally going to kill himself if he didn't do it, so I let him go past, and then he slowed me down for the next 10 minutes, so there you go. I've got nothing against cyclists, by the way, before anybody says anything, but it was just a little anecdote, not a particularly interesting one. These brakes feel really good, actually. It does feel a little bit better put together than the previous one, even though it's pretty much the same bike. That's what I can't quite get my head around, but these pegs really do stick out. You're not getting your knee down, you're getting your pegs down, that's for sure. Yeah, so as I stated before, these Enfields benefit from a good running in schedule. There's you check it online what you've got to do, but yeah, I think the first sort of 500-600 miles is sort of half throttle. That seat movement is really rather annoying, I'll be honest. I feel like I'm on a rocking horse. This colour has really grown on me, I must be honest. Actually, half throttle isn't too bad. If you haven't seen my previous video on the previous Enfield 350, go check it out, because basically I take that bike on the motorway to see how it copes with longer commutes. Obviously this bike isn't designed for that, but the whole idea of that was just to see if it could do it, because now and again you're going to get caught out and you're going to need to jump on the motorway quick, you know. So I thought it'd be an interesting thing, because a lot of people were worried about this bike, about being too underpowered, but surprisingly it does have enough oomph-age. I like the switchgear on this as well, that's definitely an improvement. These pegs do just stick out too much. Every time I put my foot down, I tend to rub my calf muscle on them. Well, as I stated before, the Signal version is a slightly cheaper version and very slightly lighter. I think it's 2 or 3 kilos lighter than the standard bike, which apparently gives it a little bit better fuel consumption. Let's be honest, 2 or 3 kilos, I can't see it making a huge amount of difference. But yeah, the premium top of the range version has adjustable brake levers and, you know, a few other tiny little bits, but the whole point of this bike is it to be stripped back, right? Nothing really there, just you and the bike, which is what I kind of like about this. I think anyone who hasn't ridden one of these and thinks that they're going to be sort of having 6 miles of traffic behind them because they're riding too slow are going to be very surprised, because it is nothing like that. Even only at half throttle, it's perfectly usable around town, more than enough oomph. It's quite a talky little motor, actually, surprisingly. But I really do love the original looking, well, when I say original as in the first one I test rode, which was the silver and red colour. I really like. But yes, not exactly the first Enfield 350, is it? But it's the first Enfield 350 I test rode anyway, so I really like those in that colour. And I like the chrome as well. So yeah, to go for the dark sort of murdered out look is, I mean, I understand it more in this paint job, but yeah, the sort of matte black with the matte finish everywhere is kind of cool in a way, but I'm not sure it's quite in keeping. But who cares, eh? Whatever floats your boat. So yes, this motorcycle is available from doble.co.uk. It's a 2025, pretty much a brand new motorcycle. I'm not too sure how they come across the bike actually, because it is actually brand new, so you could save yourself a few pounds by buying this one. I definitely would buy this one over buying a new one from Enfield. You're going to save quite a bit of money. So yeah, if you are interested in this little bike, I can assure you it is as new. And I am treating her with kid gloves today. It really is a great experience, the little Enfield 350. It really is. I mean, as you all know, I love any type of bike. But yeah, the older I get, the more I'm into just cruising along. And this does that fantastically well. You get around about 100 miles per gallon as well, which isn't bad going, is it? But yeah, the running in period is a bit of a pain, to be honest, because it's not like it's 200 miles or 300 miles. I think it's a good it's a good few hundred miles. Anyway, I will update here how many miles it actually is to run it in properly. So I will be honest, it does feel, I actually do prefer the way this rides over the 2022 version I rode. I mean, look, let's be honest, it is the same bike, same engine, gearbox, but the clutch is definitely lighter. It's a different seat on this as well. When you get used to the rocking motion, just hope I'm not going to get seasick. I need to take some garlic and ginger. Is that what you get for seasickness, is it? I must say, I do love a cruise and I don't often get seasick, so I should be okay. I do love the speedo with 100 mile an hour top speed. Got to be ambitious though, eh? It looks so much better in the flesh than it does in the photos, actually. So yeah, I thought it'd be an interesting test. Should you just buy a used one, or should you buy a new one? But we all like a new bike, don't we? That's the problem. And we know where it's been, especially with something like this that needs to be ran in. But as I said before, you know, the guys that own these are, you know, they're enthusiasts, you know. They're not sticking Red Bull cans over the suspension reservoirs and putting flip-up number plates on them. 4D plates, oh, I can't stand those. I used to hate the anodised tat you used to get. Do you remember you used to have tax holders, sorry, anodised to the colour of your bike with the same colour bar ends? Oh, awful. That's you GSXR riders for you. I do love a GSXR, so I can speak like that about them. So yes, I'm going to go get my barnets chopped. I've got a picture of David Beckham in my pocket. Just like that, please, Mr. Barber. On the pavement, because I'm a bad boy. Right, let me go get my hair cut, and I'll see you after. Right, nobody seems to take UPS parcels. How annoying. Alright, I think what we should do now is have a good look around the bike and talk about how it's been updated for 2025. And yeah, and just pick around it and see. I think that's my father. You alright? Right, I'll see you in a bit. That was my dad. He's off doing dad things, whatever they are. Making strange grunting noises. That's what all dads do, isn't it? Drag their feet across the carpet along with their knuckles. I hope he doesn't see this video because I'm in trouble. Guys, here she is, the Royal Enfield 350 in the flesh. It looks a little bit orangey on camera, but actually it's a little bit of a flatter colour. So yeah, this is the Signals edition, which is the Indian Army Special Edition. So yeah, kind of cool. I kind of like the Signals branding there. I kind of like that, actually. Yeah, so we've got sort of stenciling and numbers down the side, all that sort of stuff. You know, it's not for everyone, let's be honest. I mean, I like a bit of chrome myself. I do like a little bit of a chrome on one of these 350s, but these are the pegs I've been telling you about that stick out. It's like someone's put a pool cue through the middle of the bike. They come out so far, but I do like the brown seat with that as well. So yes, I like the blacked out exhaust, that's pretty cool. And obviously with the black wheel rims to go with that. So yeah, this is slightly lighter than the standard bike. This is 192 kilos and the standard bike's 195. So yeah, it's 2 or 3 kilos lighter. Apparently it's a little bit better on fuel, but I can't really see that with that sort of difference, but maybe it is. So 20.2 horsepower, 27 newton meters of torque, so no difference there when it comes to power. Standard seat height as well, 805mm. And a tank of 13 litres, so yeah, enough to get you where you need to go. But I mean, you're not going to be doing sort of huge amounts of miles in one day on a bike like this. I mean, you might do, but yeah, something to really pootle about on. But yeah, your standard fuel injection, 5-speed gearbox, all that sort of stuff. ABS as well, which is nice. I mean, they've all got to have ABS now, haven't they? So what's the difference? Well, you've got an LED headlight on this bike. So yeah, a few people saying they prefer just to have a bulb, but I think LED is obviously brighter, so I'd prefer that. So it's got a lighter clutch as we thought, slip assist clutch as well. So yeah, I really do like the way the clutch is. It's really nice and light. Not quite Honda light, but it is light. Yeah, and they've redesigned the rear suspension for 2025 as well. And the exhaust is apparently a little bit more upswept, which, to be honest, very, very small amounts to aid with ground clearance. But yeah, it's not a lot there. But yeah, they've updated the switch gear and the grips as well. Yeah, the more premium models have adjustable levers, which is kind of nice thing. But let's be honest, you can buy adjustable levers for not a lot of money online. So yeah, there's not huge amounts of differences between them. As I say, it's more of an evolution than a revolution. It's just centre stand as well. I do like a centre stand. Is that sitting up properly, or is that sitting down too much? Looks like it's dropped down a bit too much there, but no, that's its position. But yeah, what do you guys think of the blacked out look compared to the chrome? I mean, I'm a bit of a chrome. I still love the 2022 version in the red and the silver. But I do like this Signals edition, and it's a little bit cheaper, believe it or not. Normally when they take things off and give it a funny paint job, things are more expensive, but actually this is a slight bit cheaper. So yeah, £4,539. But as I say, this is available at Doble at the moment, so I don't know how much it's on for, but it's a good few £100 saving, and it is pretty much, well, we say it is a brand new bike. It's only done about 30 odd miles, so yes, I am impressed with it. As I say, it's cheap to run a bike like this, 100 miles per gallon, cheap tax, cheap insurance. Yes, do you like the blacked out look? It's growing on me, actually. It really is growing on me. Yeah, that redesigned rear suspension. Yeah, it's a no-nonsense bike, isn't it? Absolutely no nonsense. I mean, there's quite a few people who put in the comments on the last bike I did, there's sort of tuning bits you can get for these, you know, exhaust, etc., just to sort of try and get a few extra ponies out of it. But yeah, I think there's a bit of a misconception that you're just going to be struggling everywhere, and it isn't like that at all. So yes, first impressions are good, but we need to ride it a bit more. But I must be honest, those pegs are a little bit irritating, and that seat does spring around. Have a look, see, as you can see in there. So yeah, it gives you a little bit of extra damping, I suppose, but I found it kind of irritating, if I'm honest. But there you go. Anyway, enough waffle. Let's jump back on it. Right, we are back aboard the 350 Classic. So let's get the likes and dislikes out of the way first, shall we? I always like to start with the negative, just to get it out of the way, because yeah, I hate talking about the negative side really, because every bike has its quirks, but we have to talk about them. And yeah, as I say, this seat on this version is really a bit irritating. It, as I say, it moves about a bit. It feels like there's obviously some sort of spring mechanism below, which is a little bit odd to get used to. And again, these pegs, they come out way too far for the bike. So yeah, that's the only two gripes I can really think. I mean, you've always got to manage your own expectations with this. This bike is built down to a budget, right? It really is, but it doesn't show. Like normally you see sort of wrinkles around here, sort of, you know, when you got a bit of a rubbish paint job, but it's pretty good. This isn't a forgiving paint job for a poorly finished bike. So we got the negatives out of the way. What are the positives? Well, I love the way it looks, but But I must be honest, I'm a bit of a chrome fan. I've got to have mine in chrome. I do like the army look, I must say. Oh, I've got gloves on as well, by the way, in case you missed. I have borrowed a pair from my father. Went to my father's house, and yes, I borrowed a pair of gloves from him. So yes, if you're wondering why I've got gloves on now, that is why. And yes, safety third, everyone. Yeah, so what do I like? Well, I like the price, especially this one, because this is a new bike, but it's been sold at a used price. So me going on, I like the chrome whatever else, but I do like it in this matte finish, army finish as well, and I love it that it's a Signal special edition to the Indian Army. I'm a sucker for all that sort of stuff. I do love a special edition, and it's a really cool special edition as well. So yeah, I'm a bit of a fan of that. That alone could probably sway me to having a Signals. But yeah, I'm impressed by the brakes, obviously. I've said that before about these bikes. The brakes are surprisingly good. Yes, and that motor, we all know that motor, right? It's ultra reliable. Quite talky, really, for a little 350. So yeah, I like that. The seating position's really good. It's very comfortable. It really is a comfy little bike. Yes, and I like the updated switch gear. The grips feel better as well. So yeah, has it improved over the last one? I would say it has. As a riding experience, it has. We're not talking major differences here. We are just talking, as I said, just a bit of a evolution. So, would I buy one of these new for, I don't know, they're £4,700 new, or I've seen them used? Some really good deals, yes. It's not going to be the newest model, yes. It's going to be out of warranty, yes. It's going to have a few miles on it, might have a few marks, but I've seen them for £2,000 to £2,500. I think, as a little toy, you can justify it at that sort of price, so you're not going to lose too much. So, do you know what? I'm my fair decision maker on that, because everyone knows I love a used bike, and if you've seen the Trading Up series, you'll see that, you know, I have dealt in a lot of used bikes over the years. So value for money wise, yeah, you can't beat used, if I'm honest. But money no object, my only bike, I've got a few spare quid, yeah, go on, I'll have one. I had a little holiday home in the south of France and had a little Enfield 350 Classic to smoke around on. Oh, I'd be so happy. I really would. You know what? I'd even go full grandad with a little rack on the back to put my baguettes on. Maybe a pain of chocolat or a croissant. Well, I've had a lot of people as well, you know, taking pillions on these and having no issues at all. But yeah, it's amazing when you ride something like this about what motorcycling really is about. Alright, it's fantastic having something with 200 horsepower and silly amounts of torque and every gadget under the sun. But then you realise that you would just be happy with something that's totally stripped back, pared back, and not particularly powerful like this. It really is a refreshing bike, and that's what makes it such an interesting and viable option for your only bike as well. In summary, the Royal Enfield Classic 350 is still an absolute cracking bike. We knew it would be though, didn't we, really? I just wanted to compare it to the slightly older version, and yeah, if I wanted to buy one, would I go new or used? That was the reason I did it. But yeah, I will keep my eye out on a few of those bargains, those used bargains. So if you do have a used Royal Enfield 350 Classic, preferably in red and chrome, that you are thinking about selling, then drop me an email. I could be interested. Oh, it's so easy to filter on as well. Absolute ease. Yeah, so as always guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and please go on to doble.co.uk website, here we are, and have a look in the used section, have a look in the new section, and let me know what you would like me to test ride, because as you all probably know by now, I like every and any bike. I don't have a allegiance to any brand. Yes, I'm a bit of a Honda fanboy, that's nothing new, we all know that, but I love all bikes. Doesn't matter if it's a scooter, doesn't matter if it's a full-on sports bike, doesn't matter if it's a little Enfield 350 Classic like this. I like them all. I like absolutely everything. The sort of stuff I like is, yes, eclectic is probably the word, without sounding like David Brent. So yes, let me know what you'd like me to test ride next, and if you haven't seen it, tune into the Trading Up series, a new series I started recently that's just going very well, where it's basically I start with a £100 motorcycle and I trade my way up to a £10,000 motorcycle, a brand new motorcycle we'll be trading our way up to. So yes, let me know in the comments what you think I should trade up to as well. For now guys, I'll see you in the next one.